order the park board for the town of St. John. Could we all stand, please? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty
with
and
liberty
justice
and
for all.
justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Tyler, if we could have the roll call, please.
John Boersma.
Here.
Pat Connolly.
Here.
Mike Bovat.
Here.
Mike Moffitt absent. Tyler McLeod present. Wayne Pondinas.
Present.
Chris Salatas. Nicole Bennett absent, at least for now. Also present, Gabe Hernandez, maintenance foreman, and Russ Vogel, maintenance.
Thank you. I'd like to consider amendment of the agenda. I believe originally we did not have the adaptive swings.
Turn your microphone on, please.
I'd like to consider amendment of the agenda. I think originally we did not have the new business adaptive swing. I'd like to have consideration for the amendment of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to amend the agenda.
I'll second.
That's a motion by John Boersma, second by Pat Connolly. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you for that. Number 5, new business, A, adaptive swings.
Note that we approve the minutes.
Oh, all right, thank you for that. Number 4, I jumped from 3 to 5. Number 4, approval of minutes for Tuesday, September 21st, 2021.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for Tuesday, September 21st, 2021.
I'll second that motion.
It's a motion by Pat Connolly, second by John Boersma. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
Now, item 5, for real. A, adaptive swings.
Sure. So, Mr. Boersma inquired about adding some adaptive swings to a few of our larger parks, and I included one option, or I have one option in your packet there to look at. These are the molded bucket swing seats. We have a similar model currently at Prairie West Park. These are great for kids that have limited upper body strength and other disabilities. As you can see, that particular quote was for 4 of them, but it can be obviously reduced. They're about $945 each. But this is a model, our playground representative, that outfitted the majority of our parks. That's what they recommend. If you guys saw an email a few weeks ago, there was another model that we were looking at that was like a wheelchair platform swing. I actually have some experience with one of those models at a previous position, where the local Lions Club actually raised funds to put it into one of our main parks there. And it unfortunately was rarely used for its intended purpose. We were excited to have it, and then almost immediately we would notice, kids would just be, it was an A-frame with a platform, but the wheelchair was supposed to go up on it and then attach to the platform. Unfortunately, kids would just kind of all pile on it and go back and forth, and parents would just kind of sit there with their arms crossed watching them do it. We put handicap-only signs on it, and unfortunately that didn't do much, and it just kind of continued to get misused and created a bit of a safety issue. Oh. Let the record show also present, Nicole Bennett. So that was, we also talked about maybe we only put the platform on the frame during certain times, and we had, then had to have it monitored by the staff, but that created, some staffing issues, so we unfortunately had to take it out. So this is a model that I don't think would You know, we already have a similar model at our biggest park there at Prairie West. And I think we could probably locate or identify a few of our other parks where these can be easily added to what's already there, since that equipment is still relatively new at several of our other parks. So I just wanted to have the conversation and present this as an option. If you gentlemen like this option, I can work to finalize, some additional details and get a request to purchase together. It might be a 2022 expense, since we're kind of nearing the end of our year. But if you'd like to see additional options, I can certainly, gather that information as well. But I do think that we need to obviously try to make our parks as inclusive as we can when and where possible, so.
And I agree with that. I think we should make our parks as inclusive. The only question I had was, when you add a swing like this, you're taking out a different swing?
Yes, if it's going to be on an existing swing set, we would remove a current swing.
Okay. Is there, would it be a big expense, to just add another, whole frame for the swings?
They do sell the frames. They're called bays, they call them. 1 bay, 2 bay, 3 bay. So necessarily, the wheelchair accessible swings that I would like to see at least in 3 of our parks, our 3 biggest parks. And it's not only for kids, it's for adults too. My example is, you got a family, 2 kids, and then you have a kid in a wheelchair. How do you think that kid in that wheelchair feels when he sees his brothers and sisters swinging and he can't? So these are, you roll right into the swing. And, I've been looking at quotes. They're $2,700 for the swing. And they fold on, they fold up. Unfortunately, yeah, you're not going to stop people from swinging on it, but what stopped people from going in the bathrooms and destroying them in here? You can't stop everybody, but it removes barriers from the kids that can't do things.
Like you said, adults as well.
Yeah, it builds their self-esteem, all kinds of things. So I would definitely like to see them. We do have the ones where you have to pick a child up and put it in, but these you could roll right in. Just move them right into the ramp, and the ramp comes up, and they can swing. So, that's what I would like to see happen in at least 3 of our large parks.
Maybe see about getting the bay itself with a couple.
Yeah,
these type of swings, and then a wheelchair one.
Yeah, they sell them by the bays. You can get the 2 bay. So if you got a 2 bay frame, you can put that swing and one of the wheelchair swings in the double bays. You can get a 3 bay or a 4 bay, whatever bays you want. But I didn't seem to be too expensive for $2,700 that's a 2 bay, including the swing. So I just didn't think that was a lot of money, but and you would have to, unfortunately, we'd have to look at the ADA.gov, the American Disabilities Act, for having all the in compliance, with having some kind of path to the wheelchair or something, but
Right.
that's my idea.
I can look in to see if there have been any upgrades to, I guess, the piece of equipment we had experience with in my previous position, to see if it's just been improved or designed in a way to deter, misuse, and get that information, have that information for you guys to look over.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, I think maybe we
I
just
think it's a great
need,
idea.
this is good, I like what this is, and this would be a quick fix, but maybe just go with the whole, look into getting the bay, adding the whole swing, and the other one for the wheelchair. That type.
Without a doubt, these are a must too. With the harnesses, I like them too, but.
So like you said, as the kid gets a little older, I mean, a teenager who's in a wheelchair is a little bigger, a little heavier, and, the mom, even the dad might have trouble,
Yeah.
picking them up and putting them in there.
You know,
Much easier on them.
this came to light was last year I met a woman with her son had multiple sclerosis. And I just overheard a conversation of her talking about swings, and that's kind of where it came to my mind. So I just think it'd be a good addition to the parks. Not all of them, of course. Just like our three major parks, Prairie West. And do we have these adaptive swings in Heartland?
We do not. So Prairie West is our only current location.
I just went by there today, and there's got to be 20 cars in the parking lot right now. So,
It's always busy.
yeah, there's always people there.
Which one?
Prairie West.
Yeah.
Well, really kind of a good location too, is, right here, Civic Park, that's, I don't know if it could squeeze in there, but maybe something to look at for maybe here too.
So are you looking for us to maybe approve this? And
I don't think
Go
we
ahead.
need an action tonight, because honestly, at this time, I'm not sure if we have the funds this year to even do much, but I can get some more information, together for you guys to review.
I would ask you to look into it, because then we have all the options, and then we can decide upon what we can make a motion to.
yeah, like if you went with one company that did a 2-3 base, and they could add
Exactly.
these and the wheelchair accessible one.
I mean, that'd be great, Tyler, if you can look into that for us, and then we can, I'll talk about it and decide upon what we suggest we should do. And I'll come to agreement on it.
I got a website that I could throw your way that actually does the bays, the chairs, and these types of swings too. So
Is that something too, possibly, Tyler, they might have grant money for those type projects?
Oh, I'm sure there would be. I know that we're administering CDBG funds, which are, to make parks more accessible and ADA. So that could be. Is that a funding cycle every year? Every 2?
Every 2 years.
Every 2 years. So.
Okay. All right, well, we can get just a little more information. We broke ground on this, so just try and move it forward. That sounds good. Any other comments on that? Move on to number 6, old business, A, Founder's Park.
Yeah, so a few items completed this last month is continued earthwork, and the majority of the playground equipment is now installed. It's on the screen there. A few pending items that we're still looking to see include the site concrete, paving, and then the completion of the remainder of the playground, and the poured-in-place surface, the safety surface as well. So those are the major items that are still pending.
Any kind of a timeline on when they might be looking at that?
So we haven't received any change to the completion date, which was right around Thanksgiving for substantial completion, so
Okay.
about 6 weeks, so.
Yeah, I go by there pretty often. It looks pretty sporadic, but, I don't know if that's normal for that type of, what they're trying to incorporate there. I'm not sure. But, yeah, I see that they've installed that. That looks good.
I will say that it's gonna be, I think it'll complement our other parks pretty well. You guys, what you don't see here, there's some like nature theme, like some timber logs and some other natural looking climbing pieces. We don't really have, that sort of equipment at our other parks currently, so it will be something different than what we have. Some of our parks, it's almost like the same structure. It looks like they bought, I don't know if they got a package deal, you buy 3 or 4 of them and you got a deal on them, but it's almost like the same structure we have at 3 or 4 of our parks. So this is one that is going to be unique to what we currently have.
Yeah. Sounds good. Any other comment?
Nope.
Move on to 7, reports and correspondence. A, staff.
So I have a few items, so, wanted to follow up on the Patno Park, the family gardens, some 2002 registration information, for you guys to review. The schedule we're looking at is, the reason I'm having you approve this now is because we're looking at having priority registration open on November 1st. And that would go through December 31st for the returning gardeners, 2021 gardeners. Then we would have, from January 1st to February 28th, we would have open registration for St. John residents, which would be new gardeners. March 1st to March 31st, we would have open registration for non-residents. And then April 1st and beyond of next year, we would open up the possibility for a second box based on availability. The fees we're looking at would remain the same, $40 per box for St. John residents, and then $50 per box for non-residents.
Tyler, how many registrations did we have this year for
So
that?
we had 39 boxes in the garden, 35 of them were reserved.
Not
And
bad
then
for
the
the
other,
first year?
what's that?
Not bad for the first year?
No, not at all. So, and the other 4 that weren't reserved were used anyhow, the garden committee just planted some extra items in there, but, yeah, we received a lot of positive feedback from those that participated. And I appreciate you guys for kind of giving us the freedom to give this a shot. It was a little dicey there, in the spring, but it came together.
Well, them gardeners are pretty passionate about it, so. Like real passionate.
You know, is there much upkeep and maintenance, Tyler, or is it, you know?
I mean, that's part of the deal. When they sign up for one, is they got to maintain their own plot, and for the most part, they all did a pretty good job of it this year. You know, with it being the first year, we weren't sure how that was going to work, but we had a few that we had to kind of give a little nudge, you know, like, hey, this is kind of getting overgrown. But for the most part, I mean, they were. And the committee itself was also a huge help. They took ownership and were a huge help out there for, you know, to keep everything looking nice.
They did seem pretty passionate, so,
Oh, yeah.
for sure. Okay, well, we'd like to have consideration for the registration for the Town of St. John Parks and Recreation for Patno Park, the garden registration, consideration for that.
I'll make a motion for the consideration of Patno Park Garden registration.
I'll second.
That's a motion by John Boersma, second by Pat Connolly. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Also, our Boo Bash event is scheduled for this Saturday, October 23rd, from 10 to noon at Prairie West Park. This is our annual, you know, our family-friendly Halloween-themed event. We'll have a trunk or treat, games, pumpkin decorating, train rides, and more. So we're looking forward to that. And then the final date of the farmer's market is Sunday, October 31st.
Sounds good. Thank you for that, Tyler. Moving on to B, board members, any comments?
I just want to say good job to the St. John Fire Department for that open house. That was pretty exciting. It was a big turnout. Everybody, the Parks Department, the Police Department, all did a great job. The helicopter, yeah, it was a really good time. So good job to them.
Else? C, Town Council Liaison, Mr. Wayne Pondinas.
Yeah, I want to thank Johnny for coming forward with the handicap swings. I think that'll be a great asset to the parks. Good call, Johnny. And you guys are all doing a good job. Both Russ and Gabe, Tyler, very good. Everything's going good. Thank you. Thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you for that, Wayne.
Oh,
I got one other thing. What about Suncrest? Is there any more information on that about possibly getting that as a community center?
I know we're still investigating it, and it is still on the table. That is something we're still looking at. I don't
Okay.
have it on the agenda for tonight.
All right. Okay. That's it. That sounds good.
Well,
Thank you.
We hope you enjoy the sun, Wayne.
You know what, Johnny? I get up in the morning and it's so bright. I just think of your smiling face, and I mean, this is great. This is great being out here. But I'll be back tomorrow. Party's over.
Well, at least you enjoyed it.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
All right, thank you for being in there, Wayne.
I got one more item, Mr. President, sorry. So Suncrest is actually having a community volunteer day on Saturday, October 30th, where they're going to be sending out volunteers in groups to various locations around town. I've been in conversations with them, and I've kind of identified 3 or 4 park locations where they can help out. Prairie West Park for Christmas in the Park, the gardens, to help kind of close them up for the year, any cleanups type work. And I've been in touch with both the baseball and softball programs about them potentially helping them as well, any end of the season type items. So meeting with them on Thursday to kind of finalize some details, but wanted to mention that.
Well, we appreciate the help from Suncrest. That's outstanding. Like to see the community come together like that. Thank you for that also, Mr. Tyler. Mr. Wayne, anything else?
No, that's it.
Well,
Thank you.
We thank you for participating tonight, even though you're out there on vacation and enjoying yourself. Moving
Yeah.
on to number 8, payment of the bills. Consider payment of the bills, the amount of $42,772.32.
I'll make a motion. Payment of the bills, $42,772.32.
I'll second that.
That's a motion by Pat Connolly, second by John Boersma. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
Moving on to number 9, public comment. Any public comments? Okay. Number 10, motion to adjourn. Consider.
I'll consider to make a motion to adjourn.